Clear? Yeah. Let's start now. I think it's about time. Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, hey guys, I hope you love the video that we just played. This is Steve from DoraHacks. Very happy to host event today from Moralis for a cool Polygon workshop they're about to have on the fastest way to build a dApp on the Polygon network. So before event starts, I really want to introduce the background of this event. Ivan is actually a very, very good friend of Dora before this hackathon, but we're very happy to know that he's working on the Moralis project. So the background of this event is that Polygon and DoraHacks are co-hosting the very first Polygon-centric international hackathon targeting global hackers and new developers building on the Polygon ecosystem. And what's more exciting is that this is actually the first Polygon quadratic funding grant, where if you build a new project on Polygon network, you can receive donation and grants directly from the Polygon global community, which is a huge, one of the best Web3 community out there. And in our past experience, teams have raised thousands of dollars, even tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants that will help you kick off your project even after this hackathon, before you have any private investment from institutions. So I hope you guys are very eager to know more about Polygon network, how to build on Polygon. And that's why we have Ivan here. Ivan is a super awesome KOL and influencer in the crypto world. And we're happy to know that he's working intensively on this Moralis project to help bringing the educational effort for not only Polygon, but also multi-chain Web3 world. So without further ado, Ivan, please, we're very happy to have you today. How are you doing?
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve. Fantastic. And thanks for inviting me. And so good to be part of this hackathon. So I will share my screen now. Please let me know if it works. And like Steve said, we are going to focus on building. We will be talking about how to build quickly, how to build in a way that produces results and great results and fast. And it all comes down to the tools, that you need to have the correct tools in order to build as quickly as possible. And that's what we hope to share in this episode, in this live stream. And at the end, we're also going to have Q&A. So if you have any questions during the event, save them until the end, and we're going to answer them. So first and foremost, why you're watching this? Probably because you want to win the hackathon, you want to build something, you want to show to the world. Maybe you even have longer plans, bigger plans to get investment, to get some kind of token going, to do something that other people will use. Because crypto is growing a lot, it's exploding. We see mainstream adoption very, very soon, probably. Look just at the NFT hype. It's very close to mainstream now. So of course, the goal is winning this hackathon, but also think a bit bigger. And everyone, of course, has some kind of idea. I'm sure when you join this hackathon, you have some kind of idea what you will build. Maybe some kind of NFT marketplace, maybe wallet, DeFi dashboard, cross-chain bridge, some kind of cross-chain experience, maybe cross-chain DEX. There's endless amounts of ideas, of course, NFT game, decentralized exchange, and so on and so forth. So just think for a moment what you want to build. And the next step is to realize that all of these different ideas that you may have, and everyone else watching this may have, they do have the same needs, because all of them need to log in a user. Otherwise, you have no dApp. If people cannot use it, what kind of dApp is this? So you need to log in a user. Then you need to fetch the balances of the user normally. If you build DeFi dashboard, wallet, exchange, you need to know what the user has in their wallet. And so for that, you need to fetch the native balance, for example, Matic balance, NFTs, tokens. You have to fetch all of that from the blockchain. Then you need to fetch the past transactions of the user in all kinds of different smart contracts, tokens, NFTs. You need to fetch smart contract events. What does that mean? Let's say that you build some kind of NFT marketplace, and whenever somebody does a new bid, they bid for an NFT, it's a smart contract event. So you need to fetch those from the blockchain, both historical occurrences of those events, but also real-time occurrences. You probably have to build some kind of index. So whenever something happens on chain, you need to update something in the database, and you need to keep some kind of state. And of course, you need to send transactions. You need to send new transactions, token transactions, NFTs. You need to interact with a smart contract. So each and every dApp needs that. Each and every dApp on Earth needs these things. And of course, then we have more features and more niche use cases and niche needs, but most of them needs just this to get started and show something to the world. Now, the problem is that everyone is reinventing the wheel. The reason why it takes quite a long time to get started is because everyone right now is reinventing the wheel and starts from scratch, basically. What do I mean by that? Normally, when you think about building a dApp, most people do it in the wrong way because they think about, let's start with Rpc Node. They find some kind of Rpc Node provider, and they quickly realize that with Rpc Node, you cannot do that much. You cannot get real data from Rpc Node. In order to make Rpc Node useful, you have to do a lot of work around it. You have to build your own database around it because Rpc Node is a very bad database. You cannot query the Ethereum blockchain by connecting to Ethereum Rpc Node. You need to index first the blockchain. You cannot do filtering nor aggregation by talking directly to Rpc Node. For example, I cannot get my top users in my dApp from a smart contract in the Rpc Node. To get this more complex queries to run specific queries on the blockchain, I cannot do that with Rpc Node. And of course, this means that I have to build all of this myself. I have to build all of this ginormous monster of tech around the Rpc Node. For example, when the user logs in my dApp, I need to verify the signature. I have to write logic code that verifies that the user signed the message correctly, so I can log them in. I need to index database. I need to create my own API around my Rpc Node that I connected. I need to figure out sockets. If I have real-time communication, let's say a game, real-time game, or some kind of other real-time dApp, I need to figure out sockets, database. When a user logs in, I need to save them in database. I need to have all kinds of other data in database. You need to sync smart contract events, figure out logic to get the logs, to subscribe to logs through Rpc Node, sync transactions, and have this user lifecycle as well. I mean, all in all, this is a lot of work just to get started. And the problem is everyone is doing that. Everyone is repeating this work over and over again when you start a new dApp. But it's not only that you have to do it from the beginning. You also have to provision databases, provision infrastructure. If your dApp gets a lot of users, you have to scale this monster yourself. You have to have a whole team just scaling this infrastructure. Debug, you will probably have a bunch of bugs when you build this yourself. Debug and so on, and maintain and so on and so forth. So it's horrible. It's horrible. And this leads to the fact that you have slow iterations. If you want to experiment with a new feature, it may be slow for you to add the new feature because you have such a ginormous infrastructure you need to take care of. It's difficult to test new things and move forward because it's such a big project you build just to get started, just to have the basics, just to have the base level of your dApp. A long time to go to market. You get an idea, maybe in a few months, you can show something that works. It should be in a few days. You should be able to go in a few days. And of course, when you cannot move quickly, you increase your chance of failing because in crypto, in all startups, in all new ideas, it's important to try quickly to see, does this idea work or not, or should I try something else? So by building around Rpc Node and building this yourself, you increase your failure rate. Now, of course, we should not be building like this. This is not how it's supposed to be because everyone is doing that. So if everyone is repeating the same thing, why don't we package it in a solution that everyone can just use off the shelf? A solution that has already all of this that we discussed already done. If only there was such a solution which prepackaged everything. If only there was a simple SDK that did all of this, that had all of these features built in. And of course, there is a chance. There is a big chance that we do have. Sorry. Dropped my coffee almost. There's a big chance that we have such a solution. And that is, of course, Moralis Server and Moralis SDK. And you can think of Moralis Server and Moralis SDK as the Firebase of crypto. For all of you who have used Firebase in the traditional web development, in traditional mobile development, you will quickly understand this. Because the whole premise of Moralis is that you sign up, you get a server, you get a prepackaged server already with all of these different features built in. You get all of this already prepackaged. You just sign up, you get a server that you can connect to, and you can start building. So you launch your server, you get a very easy SDK that you can use in JavaScript or in mobile or in Unity if you are building games. And then you just connect with one line of code, your SDK, to the server that we give you already prepackaged. The server already knows how to fetch everything from chain, and you use the SDK for what matters. And what matters is, for example, to log in a user. So how do you log in a user with Moralis? As you can see, it's one line of code. Moralis Web3 Authenticate. As soon as you run this line of code, user gets MetaMask, user signs in with MetaMask, and already all the info about the user is in your Moralis server. It's already in your Moralis database instantly. Instantly. You don't have to do anything. And this is how it looks like. So user signs in, and instantly, as you can see here, you get the NFTs, you get the balances, you get the transactions, you get everything already instantly done. And as soon as the user does something on chain, you instantly have it already in your database. Instantly. So you wrote one line of code and you have all the past transactions, all the assets, all the NFTs, everything about the user already done. And you can query this database like any other database, which means that you can now do filtering. You can now query for specific variables, for specific conditions, for specific events, and so on and so forth. And we help you to do it very, very easy by giving you prepared queries. So for example, to get all my transactions from the user that is using my app, I just write one line of code: Moralis Web3 API, get transactions, done. To get the balance, the matic balance, for example, you write one line of code, done. To get ERC20 balances, one line of code, done. NFT balances, one line of code, done. So user logs in, one line of code. To fetch all the information about the user, 4 lines of code. And so this means that we build a wallet. Basically, we build a dashboard where the user can log in and see all their assets in 5 lines of code. This is the power of Moralis. Think about normally how long time it would take you to build this if you just connected to Rpc Node. What kind of infrastructure, what kind of database you would have to build from scratch and debug yourself and maintain yourself and provision yourself without Moralis. And of course, this is all that all dApps do. So why do all dApps do it over and over again? It shouldn't be like that. That's why we built Moralis, where instantly 5 lines of code, you know everything about your user. Amazing. And like I told you, this database that we give you when you sign up and use Moralis, this database right here, is queryable. So you can add your own information. For example, for the user, you can add nickname, email. You can add whatever data you want. Extra data, you can add relations between different things. And this means also that you can query the data like a normal database. You know that using Rpc Node, you cannot query it. You cannot say, okay, give me all transactions where the fee was more than $10 and it happened between 10th of June and 10th of July. It's impossible. With this, it's possible. With this, it's possible. And also, instantly with this, you can subscribe to real-time updates. So when something happens, for example, new ERC20 transaction happens, you can have a subscription, so you get instantly notified. So look, 5 lines of code to get user wallet. Another 2 lines of code to now get real-time alerts when the user does something new. This is magic. And all the sockets are already set up. All the sockets are already set up. You just write this line of code, and in real time to your front end, you will be getting a data feed of new user activity. So this is quite important. And of course, I mean, this is unlimited power. When you truly think about 5 lines of code, everything on a silver plate, everything already figured out. And the reason why we can build this tool is because we see what dApps are doing. And I'm repeating this, but all dApps, they do this themselves. It's like, imagine if you build a HTML website. Imagine you build a website and you have to speak to the CPU to even make it work. This is how we work right now in crypto before Moralis. Everyone trying to speak to the node, to Rpc Node. Rpc, it's kind of like the CPU, you know? You shouldn't be talking to it. If you're an app developer, Rpc should be somewhere, you know, down in the tech stack. You shouldn't even know it exists. You should be working on a way higher level of abstraction, way higher level of technology. This is what Moralis provides. Now, we spoke about what you can do with the user, like get the assets, get everything, subscribe to new on-chain transactions. But it's also important for developers to get real-time and historic alerts about smart contracts. So when you have a topic, you write a smart contract, you have an event, that event has a topic, you can get all of these events in real time. You just give your Moralis server a topic, and that's it. And then it just gives you everything in real time, and you can see it in the database. And you can, of course, also subscribe to it like this, like we discussed. And you can build your index like this. So instead of setting up this whole, subgraph, this and that, figuring out how to do subgraph, just tell Moralis which topic you want, and each topic will be inserted in your database. And then you can decide what you do with it, what kind of index you want to build on top of it. So very easy, very, very on a silver plate, everything with smart contracts as well. And I encourage you to go to docs.moralis.io because we have amazing docs. As you can see, videos, we explain to you everything in video, code examples, great community we have as well in Discord, which I will come to. But when you're seeing all of this, we're going to have a Q&A at the end, but also just remember, you have docs with everything. And we spend a lot of time on docs, recording videos, recording examples, boilerplates, and so on and so forth. So check that out. Now, we discussed how to read data, index data, and so on and so forth. What about sending assets? When I started developing on Ethereum and Matic, the problem was that something that really bugged me was that I just want to send ERC20. Look, I want to send ERC20 from this address to that address. Why do I need to provide ABI for the smart contract? Why do I need to care about, ABI? I need to create this whole data structure. I just want to send ERC20, man. So this is what we provide as well. In Moralis SDK, you have a function, it's called moralis.transfer. You can transfer ERC20s, you just provide the amount, the receiver, and the address, that's it. You don't need to provide the ABI. I don't know why. This is how Ethereum should have, and Matic should have been done from the beginning, of course, but Ethereum, because Matic is using EVM. The same thing is with NFT. You just provide, hey, receiver, contract address, token ID. That's it. And also to send native, it's one line of code for the options, and then just execute with moralis.transfer. That's it. So this is when it comes to sending assets. So all in all, this covers maybe 90% of the things that all dApps need in order to get started, in order to get going, in order to get the first version up. And that's the most important thing, because most dApps, they will spend months just getting these things ready, and then they go live, and then they discover, oh, nobody wants to use it, all right? You don't want to be like that. You want to build this whole app, this whole idea you have, you want to build it ideally in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, okay? In 4 or 5 days, you have it ready, you show it. Does it work? Oh, nobody cares. Perfect. Let's do another idea. This is truly life-changing. This really, because you have limited time in your life, but also in this crypto ecosystem, you have limited time. Like, how many ideas will you be able to try for real if you need to build everything from scratch yourself? You need to build this ginormous monster and maintain this ginormous. This really kills your potential, all right, when you build like this, because it's all about how many times you can go to market and show ideas before a big idea happens and before a big idea succeeds. So we covered all of this, but there is more. Believe it or not, there is more. Wait, there is more. Let me know if you've seen these commercials, infomercials, but wait, there is more. We have a ton of plugins coming. So you build your app on Moralis. Let's say you want to have a fiat on-ramp. Well, one line of code, moralis.plugins.fiat.buy. You write one line of code, you have fiat on-ramp. Your users can now start buying your cryptos with fiat. One line of code. More plugins are launching in September, but we're going to have a plugin with 1inch where you write. So it's going to be moralis.plugins.1inch.swap. And with one line of code, you can now swap assets in your app. It's mind-blowing. One line of code. The whole motto of Moralis is one line of code. You have something you think about, it should be one line of code. There is one line of code for whatever thing you think about. That's our motto. And right now we support Ethereum, Binance, Polygon, Arbitrum, and Avalanche. This means that when your user logs in, all the assets are fetched from Ethereum, Binance Chain, and Polygon. They're fetched automatically. And if your user uses the same address on all of these different chains, we will fetch all of that automatically. But our next step is to also have Solana, so that your user can add a Solana wallet, Elrond wallet. And this means that your dApp becomes future-proof. Why? Let's say there's a new blockchain tomorrow. How will you ensure that your app is relevant? How do you go from, let's say, Ethereum or Matic or Binance Chain to Solana? Because all dApps right now are cross-chain. That's the new reality of 2021. You have to be cross-chain. So imagine you build something. How do you go to Solana? You cannot. You have to start from scratch. If you use Moralis, very simple, because we abstract it away. Look, for Moralis, whether it's Polygon or Avalanche or Solana, it's infrastructure that is under the hood. It's kind of like Windows. You know, Windows ensures that your Windows application will work with any CPU, any GPU, any monitor, any printer. So we'll look at the different blockchains, like, you know, another printer, another CPU, another GPU. As a developer, it should be secondary. You should not even consider, you know, that, oh, it's a whole new ecosystem, a whole new blockchain, because still, even on Solana, guess what? You need the same things as everywhere else. Even on Solana, you will need to log in user, fetch balances, fetch transactions, I mean, it's going to be the same. For most dApps, they need exactly the same thing. So that's why Moralis is cross-chained by default. Your app built on Moralis is cross-chained by default, because we have unified SDK for all blockchains, because they all need the same thing. Look, and another way of looking at it is that using Rpc Node only, like building your own infrastructure around it, you're using primitive tools. You use some kind of, you know, some kind of stone hammer, and you can build what? You can build a mud hut, okay? Using Moralis, you use more advanced tools. You use modern tools, and you can build modern things. Because of course, I mean, you could try to build a skyscraper using some kind of, you know, stone hammer, but you need to have better tools. You need to move in abstraction layer. So that's another way of looking at it. Finally, guys, go to our Moralis Web3 YouTube channel, because we push videos there every day where we explain how to build, like, for example, clone Rarible in 24 hours using Moralis, cloning Etherscan, cloning Ethereum. And we have a lot of Polygon tutorials like Chainlink and Polygon, a lot. Each and every day we push something. And finally, join our Discord. And you join by going to moralis.io/mage, because we have Moralis DAO. And everyone who joins, it's Moralis Mage, all right? You become Moralis Mage, you join moralis.io/mage. Please do it as soon as possible. Because if you have questions, you want to build something, our mission is really that we are available 24/7. You have any problem in the code, we help you instantly. You go to our forum, we do have full-time staff there just answering. You have a question, we answer it. Within 1 to 2 hours, we answer it. That's the goal, at least, and we try to be as fast as possible. So yeah, that being said, guys, let's go to the next section of this live stream, which is the Q&A. So I'm prepared. Steve, you here?
Got it. So yeah, thank you for the very detailed and passionate introduction of Moralis to everyone joining us today. We do have a couple hundred joining us, developers joining us on the Bilibili channel, and also another couple hundred on YouTube right now. So
perfect.
So yeah, like tell us more about Moralis. So what are expected for developers to use Moralis? Like, are there any kind of like front-end requirements for them to use your tool, or is completely free?
When it comes to Moralis, it's completely free. We will have enterprise plans in the future, but the idea is that 99% of people using it should never even feel the cost, because it's all about that we allow people to build more, we make this process easier. And of course, when we have enterprise clients, that's when the revenue gonna come from. So for most people in hackathons, or if you have 100 users, 1,000 users, it will never like even feel like a cost. But then of course, premium support we're gonna have, and so on and so forth, but it's very accessible. I mean, for everyone, it's completely free to start, and you can go quite far. I mean, you can build anything you want, basically. And if you get millions and millions of users, then it will be enterprise plan, yes.
Got it. So right now, this is like a toolkit for developers to use from. So in the future, do you plan to integrate any kind of tokenomics to the project?
Well, yes, this is something that we're thinking about. Our focus right now is to just make this as great as possible, that technology is good, that we support all different chains. And next, we will focus on whether we will do some token or something. But this is not the priority right now, because we really want to build something that everyone loves and develops and uses. And of course, if we can achieve that, it's gonna be no problem to do some kind of token with incentivization and so on and so forth. But right now, our focus is development and making it as great as possible.
Sure. Yeah, there's a question from the developer. We have seen that you have demoed actually a few functionalities that Moralis provide to the developers. including they can check the price, they can
Yes.
inquire about a lot of the status of the blockchain and information. So this developer specifically wants to know some of the applications that Moralis can help developers if he or she wants to build a gaming dApp or a DeFi
Yes.
dApp. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, at the end of the day, like we discussed, is the same needs that all dApps need to log in, page balances, and so on and so forth. We do have a lot of gaming apps building already. I will show you one video we recorded with Polygon World. It's a 3D multiplayer NFT game that is built with Unity, and Moralis works with Unity. That's the thing. We have working way of connecting them. So here's an example. It's going to be without sound, but here's an example of this 3D game. It's multiplayer. It uses NFT, and of course you can build it with Moralis because it's very simple connection to Unity, and all dApps you think about, they all need this, and Moralis provides this list of different features.
Awesome. So you have mentioned that you're expanding Moralis to a multi-chain status. So
Yes.
what are some of the ecosystems that you already support right now? Do you support any cross-chain features for Moralis? And yeah, maybe those first.
Yeah. So right now we support Polygon, Binance Chain, and Ethereum. When it comes to the full stack, when it comes to like logging in users, getting all transactions, and so forth, we have Avalanche and Arbitrum as in the RPC. If you still need an RPC node, we do have RPC nodes as well. But next for us will be to also fully integrate Avalanche and Arbitrum. And the next is going to be Solana, because that one is going to be a very, very key upgrade for us, because we will have a unified SDK across EVM blockchains like Polygon, Binance, Ethereum, but also non-EVM, which is Solana. And that's going to save months, if not years of development for dApps if they get the same experience on Solana or EVM. So yeah, that's the state right now. When it comes to logging in users, getting transactions, getting all the data from the blockchain, it works already cross-chain. Next for us would be to integrate some kind of bridge. So we don't have any like easy bridge right now, but that would be next for us, to have a bridging of assets. We don't have it at the moment, but that's a good development forward for us.
Got it. Awesome. So yeah, I think in general, Moralis is a very powerful tool for developers to leverage if they want to quickly build a dApp. Like they have raw ideas for this project with Moralis, they can actually save a lot of time and energy. Like Ivan just mentioned, reinventing the same wheel every day, all the time. With Moralis, many powerful features are supported on Polygon. So yeah, I think Moralis is a great project, and yeah, I feel like a lot of developers could really use your help with Moralis. And guys, if you're watching this workshop online right now, like in this live session, feel free to join the Moralis Discord, where Ivan and his team will answer your questions. Any question you might run into using Moralis, trying out their toolkits. So yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, Steve. I just also want to so you join our Discord, and if you have any questions, we will help you instantly, because we also have this forum. So when you join the Discord, you can chat with us. But for tech help, we use this forum, Moralis forum, and you see it's very active because we're here all the time answering. So it's also very important if you are in this hackathon and let's say you don't know how to do something, you want some help, you're stuck, you want to move ahead, we can help you, because we do have people full-time just working in the forum, making it as great as possible, making the experience as good as possible. And that's a very big special aspect that I feel, because there are not a lot of tools or platforms from development perspective that have this very, very human approach, because it's so easy to build tech and just, push it to the world and link some docs and that's it. But it's a bit harder to have this human approach where you can speak to us. If you need help, we review your code. We try to run this. We do that as much as we can. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So yeah. Before like we end the session, Ivan, what's the next step for Moralis in general? What's your vision in supporting developers?
Well, yeah, the next thing for us, it's the cross-chain, this full cross-chain integration with Solana, Elrond. I mean, all of the different chains, that it should be the same way to build on all of them. Let's say you have NFC marketplace idea, you have some kind of idea. The end user, at the end of the day, the end user does not care which blockchain you use. The end user just wants to buy something, they want to trade, they want to, provide liquidity. So you should be able to provide them the experience they want and use whatever blockchain you have to under the hood. And so we want to make it as easy as possible with unified cross-chain SDK. And we need bridging for that. In the short term, we will have an even better SDK for Unity, totally native C# SDK for Unity. And in the short term, also, we're going to have iOS and Android SDKs as well, which are going to help a lot, because right now there is not a lot of good SDKs for mobile and crypto if you want to quickly get going and sign in users and do all of this that we have been discussing. So short term is SDKs for different platforms like Unity, mobile, and a bit more long term is to have this full unified experience across blockchains. That's our dream and vision moving ahead.
Got it. Yeah. So yeah, I believe that's all for today. I think with Moralis SDK developers, you can actually save a lot of time and effort. So do check it out if you do want to kick off a really powerful dApp on Polygon in a short time. And go to Moralis forum and Discord. Moralis team will be there to help you. And yeah, I want to thank Ivan for leading a team doing such a wonderful project. I think that will really help a lot of developers, save a lot of time.
Thanks,
and,
Steve.
Yeah, we're very happy to host this workshop. Moralis will be an educational partner for this hackathon for all the time. So if you have any questions during this hackathon in the next 2 months, feel free to reach out to us or reach out to Moralis, and we'll all be here to support you. So right now is the time where you can meet other fellow hackathon participants, talk to the amazing mentors of this hackathon, learn from all the amazing stuff, new knowledge from the workshops that we have every day in the next week, in the following week, I believe. So stay tuned for our most recent updates about this hackathon. Learn more about Polygon intensively in the next month. And I hope you guys can come up with really cool, amazing projects in the next few weeks. And yeah, we're always here to support you. Thank you, Ivan, for joining us today. And I hope you all learned a great deal from Ivan about Moralis today. And yeah, I hope you go up in this hackathon.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.